Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Meditation a Day. And GP Walsh and I, myself, Lisa Berry, are here for our first Monday of the month meditation and little mini chat, because I like to have a little chat with GP for you guys just ahead of time. Hello, GP.
Hello, Lisa.
Aw. I was listening to your sat song from yesterday, which is also, we show it here on EWN. And so it's funny. I want to take notes, and it's like, but I have to stop it every minute. Right? So it's helpful when we get to have this live experience of a guided meditation or a self inquiry with you. Today, I would love for you to walk us through. There was a question that came up, and I really enjoyed your answer, and I think that it would really benefit everyone as we come together, because that's what EWN loves to do, is have everybody come together with this meditation a day, and it allows us that opportunity for ourselves and then as a community. Um, the I want to call this, that I'm titling the meditation here as a pure experience, and unprocessed was a word. And when I'm talking about, when you were talking about being unprocessed, it's a lot of us think that we're sensitive. We're overly sensitive. I'm overwhelmed. Maybe you're an empath. Maybe you are a healer. Maybe you're just sensitive. And you think it in a negative way, or judgment, or something to protect yourself from. And GP, when you mentioned this yesterday, you talked about it's simply something that's unprocessed. And could you expand a little bit more on this to the people who might be feeling like, yes, I'm very sensitive, and everything's upsetting me into a way that I feel like, yeah, just oversensitized.
Well, yeah, that's always a sense of resistance to what you're experiencing, and that's simply because we have all been desensitized. We've all been taught to to experience things through our minds, through our conceptual categorizations of them, rather than direct. And if you look at a little kid, just the incredible exuberance, the overwhelming amount of emotions they feel, you for us as adults, that's scary. And in fact, we try to train it out of them. You can just see them; they just get so completely carried away, because there aren't any filters. There's no processing going on. It's there's no GMOs. It's purely organic, right? They are having the experience directly as the experience, and the end result is this sense of ecstasy. And this is why we don't feel that kind of ecstasy. We don't feel that kind of bliss, because we're not processing it directly. We're processing it through many, 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 many filters. And we're so used to that. We're so used to the diluted version of it, right? That when we do, those people who do identify themselves as sensitive or empaths and like, when they do have that experience, it's overwhelming. And the reason it's overwhelming is because you're trying to restrict it. You're trying to hold it back. And so our minds, which are not used to that level, right, try to kind of push it off. I need to protect myself from that. I'm too sensitive, and that sort of thing. And yet, if you really stepped out of your mind and just had the experience, you'd find that you not only can have it, but you completely and easily absorb it, like children do. Right? That it is simply the mind that says you can't. And it's not true. And the end result is we are very cut off from life. We're cut off from the bliss of life, right? From the juice. From, as Joseph Campbell referred to it, the rapture of life. Just the rapture of the miracle of self-aware existence. I mean, just ponder for a second. None of this had to exist, right? There's nothing that said all of this had to exist. So we're sitting in the middle of a freaking miracle. Mm. And yet we dilute it down to these little sound bites and Netflix movies and YouTube videos, rather than experience just the incredible ecstasy of every moment. Joseph Campbell even made the comment, he says, God is looking at a tree and going, oh, that's God.
Exactly. I love that. One question before we go into this guided meditation, because I love that you said that I'm imagining many people here with us they're experiencing, yes, because maybe we have our crystals or our dream catchers or all these little things that we put around us
Hmm.
to absorb, um, filter, to process it for us. Is there ever a time where it is good to process it, or is it like, will we ever die from being overly sensitive and absorbing too much energy?
No, it's not possible. Because the reality is that you are that energy, and it's perfectly natural and perfectly at home. You can absorb as much as there is. We just don't think we can, and so it is that self-imposed limitation that makes it painful, that makes it difficult. Um, that we believe there is some kind of negative force out there that can hurt us. And so we experience the consequences not of a negative force, but of our belief in it. You are always the one who is creating your reality, your experience. And we create it out of our sense of, out of these beliefs that we have, and our belief, our very fundamental belief in a hostile or dangerous external environment, which we all learn simply because of childhood trauma. There is no dangerous external environment. It doesn't exist. It is completely within our minds. But if I believe it to exist, consciousness is so powerful that it will create the experience of it.
Monsters under the bed.
Like a dream. Monsters under the bed, yes. The little kid sees the monsters. It's no joke. I remember as a little kid forgetting to shut the closet door before I got into bed.
Ooh.
And all of the clothes in the closet were monsters. And I remember bringing up the courage to jump out of it, run over, and slam the door.
Me too.
I'm safe.
It's very true, very real though. You're right.
They are totally real. They are totally real. It's the snake in the rope. If I see the snake and I don't know it's a rope, I'm going to act as if it's a snake. I'm going to run like it's a snake. And there's no snake there. Somebody has to come along and show it. There's no snake. It's a rope. You go, oh, never mind.
Yeah. So it's that, let me be here with you so you're safe and protected whilst we show you and explore that belief, that assumption. Yeah.
Exactly so. And in its more mature and sophisticated forms, it becomes the evil other that we have to protect ourselves, or some kind of force, or some kind of energy, or some kind of negative energy. I have to put up my crystals and things. And I've got nothing against crystals; they're beautiful. They're wonderful. They're a wonderful energy about them. But you're far more powerful than any of those.
Beautiful. Well, I think that's exactly why we have to make that space to do these meditations and being in our presence, our own presence. And so I will allow you to take this away, invite you to take this away for us as we can enjoy and share a short meditation with you.
All righty. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, sorry. I was going to just be the voice in the background. You could lip sync. Well, everybody, let's kind of step into it here. Pure experience. Slow down. Close your eyes. For the next few moments, nothing exists except the experience you're having right this moment. There are no other windows on your screen. There are no notifications. Right? There is nothing now except you and the experience that you happen to be having right this moment. Take a couple of breaths to just kind of bring yourself into your body, which is the seat of experience. Make the breath slow and deep, very intentional. To step into this place, this inner place of pure experience. And just notice something very critical, something essential, that experiencing doesn't really have a beginning. It's not like you wake up in the morning and you have to start up the experiencing engine the way you would your car. In fact, the waking up in the morning is experienced. It is an event that is being experienced. But experiencing itself, well, it never stops. Even in deep sleep, dreamless, no thoughts. You don't even have a name. There's no world. You are experiencing just the pure emptiness. Pure experience, without content. Experiencing is so constant that you can't really separate it from yourself. In fact, if you weren't experiencing, would you even exist? So it's experiencing is really just another word for myself. I'm not a thing that experiences, because I'm even experiencing this thing I call my life, my body. So when you're just being present, allowing whatever happens to be here, and noticing that you couldn't have any experience without you being here, with no story or narrative about what is being experienced, just noticing the experiencing itself, you are in the state of pure experiencing. Pure, unprocessed, unfiltered experience. This is, in fact, what the state children are in all the time. Also the state that animals are in all the time. Because there is no mental overhead, no categorizations, no reductions. Pure, direct, innocent. Now imagine it's the end of a long winter, kind of like what we've just experienced. You've been having snow in April. Here in Seattle, it hasn't stopped raining. I think we've had one warm day. But imagine that first obviously spring day has finally come. And you're walking near your house, maybe through a park or through a woods or something. And it's green. You can feel the aliveness beginning to come. And then one day you walk through and suddenly, the day before there was just a green bush is now just exploded in blossoms. The flowers are just overwhelming. The beauty is just takes your breath away. The smell has just completely embraced you. You catch it out of the corner of your eye, you look at it, and there's just this this power of wow. Just takes you over. In that moment, you're in pure experience. Is it going to harm you? Is it going to be too much? Will it become overwhelming? No, it's blissful. It's ecstatic. In fact, in that moment, you, the bush, the day, the smell, the flowers are all one. There isn't even a word, flower or bush or bloom. This is prior to any words we place on it. It's just the pure experience itself. Like a child which has no words, no concepts. And yet, there you are, with no words. Sometimes it can be so overwhelming, like a child, you'll just cry or get giddy. But then notice what happens. Maybe within a few seconds, maybe a little bit longer, suddenly a narrative will begin. Look at that. What a beautiful bush. What a beautiful flower. I wonder what kind of flower that is. It looks kind of like an orchid. No, it's not an orchid. It's, I don't know. I know I've seen it at one point. I think I've even seen them on sale at Whole Foods. I'm going to grab my camera and take a picture. It's so beautiful, I want to capture it. Maybe I can go to that app where I can find out what kind of flower. Notice, you're no longer in the experience. You're in the story. You're not experiencing the rapture of that flower any longer. You're in the mind. Now that transition from the pure rapture to the mind, the child doesn't have. That's pure experience. The moment the mind kicks in with all of its categorizations and descriptions and comparisons and memories, the pure experience is gone. Matter of fact, you're not with that flower at all anymore. You are with a thought. You're with the YouTube video. Someone once asked Osho, the spiritual teacher, he said, are there things like fairies and woodland things like that? And Osho said, yes, of course. He says, well, how come every time I go out into the woods, they're not there? And he responded, oh, they're there all right, but you're not. You're not in the woods, you're in the thought of the woods. So right now, let's come back to pure experience. What's happening in your body right this moment? Your eyes are closed, so there's nothing striking it. There's no scene you have to take in or describe. See if you can just feel your body without describing it. Not even a word. Feel your foot. Just feel your foot. Now I'm using a word to draw your attention to it. And notice that when your attention goes to your foot, your mind will say foot, show you a picture of the foot. And just say thank you, I don't need you right now. And just feel it. Feel this clearly identifiable energy pattern that we have named my foot. Notice it has a character. It's got kind of a form, although it's a felt form. Feel the temperature, the subtle tingling on the bottom of it. Just feel it. No thought. Notice how alive it feels. Now you can do that on any part of the body you like. Pick another part. I'm not even going to direct you. Pick any part of your body and just put your attention on it. Just feel it. No thoughts. No description. Direct experience. And notice you don't need a thought to experience it. The animal experiences it without thought. The child experiences without thought. So notice the thought is always secondary. It's always after the fact. This is pure experiencing. And notice as you're doing this, how calm it gets. How pleasurable these feelings are. How wondrous they are. And now just notice one other thing. That while you've been focusing your attention on just feeling your foot or whatever other body part you have chosen to bring into your awareness, notice something even more subtle. That the experience of experiencing itself is always the same. It doesn't have a particular kind of flavor. It's this open door to everything else, but itself is completely neutral, completely empty. This is the self. This is yourself. This is the direct experience of yourself without thought. Without a name, without a story, without a past, without associations, without memories, without even your name. I sometimes call this your original innocence. This is the nature of your experience before any conditioning took place. And it is the nature of your experience that will be there when all of your conditioning has ended. So now take another deep breath. Just kind of feel yourself anchoring into this place of pure experience. And then notice, as you slowly open your eyes, that sight is just another kind of experience. You're just letting in a different quality of experience. But the experiencing remains the same. And welcome back.
I muted myself. Thank you so much. I feel so refreshed. I hope everybody else does, and we'll see if there's any comments coming through. GP, I when somebody else might say to you, "I'd like to spend time with you," or you might say to somebody, "I'd like to spend time with you." It's so interesting to think, I'd like to spend time with myself. and, and as you walked us through that, but I was experiencing like spending time with my foot, spending time with my ear, spending time, and and it's all the same. But if I could just ask, like, what what is that benefit, like, to do that daily, like a meditation a day, like we're here? What is the value of that to our experience when we get to spend time with ourselves?
Well, the cumulative effect is that there's an increasing sensitivity to the direct experience, and there's less narration. You over time experience things more and more as they actually are, and less just the YouTube video that's running in our head most of the time. So that when you experience that flower, you don't immediately go, gee, what kind of flower that is, and pull out your phone to take a picture of it. Instead, you're present with it. You're like really present with it. It's like there's a real relationship with it, not a secondary one. It's not a picture of the flower that you're looking at and trying to identify. You're in a direct, passionate, intimate relationship with that being for a moment. And that's the payoff. And of course, the same thing is true for ourselves. We get more and more of our experience of ourselves and less about how we think about ourselves. We lose that self-image, that self-identification, and come more and more into our natural flow of life. We begin to identify ourselves as life itself, and not just an adjunct to it.
I can feel that. I could at times people might say, I missed out on life. I paid too much attention to career, like just different things, everything. And yes, I can feel that would be that gift, that we get to be present and experience our lives more than the narrative and the judgments and the identity attachment to it.
Yes, yes, exactly so. And people do. They come to the regrets and go, I've just done all of this stuff, but I don't really know who I am. I don't know what I love. I don't know what I care about. And that really is the case, because we've become alienated from ourselves. And if you become alienated from yourself, you simply become a cog in the wheel. You become your function rather than you. And that's always unsatisfying. And people feel it. They feel the inherent dissatisfaction of it.
Yes, that's so true. Well, I want to thank Isabel for showing up. Thank you so much. Yes, yes. GP is a wonderful teacher, though, I must say. We have so many wonderful teachers here. And if you do enjoy the way that GP does teach, and perhaps you yourself are a teacher and you would like to incorporate it, or just have a new way, you're just looking for a new experience of yourself as well, we are going to invite you to just come on over to gpwalsh.com. First things first, sign up for the newsletter so we can be in touch with you, and we can invite you to other wonderful things like this here on EWN. And we look forward to showing up next first Monday of the month. This is May, so June, and we'll be here for a meditation a day. And we want to thank EWN for allowing us to be here, and all the lovely people. Thank you, GP. This has been just wonderful.
Thank you all. It's so good to be here with you.
Thank you.